Hi, good morning. My name is Leanne and I'm in the garden again. I recorded the majority of this video a couple weeks ago, but just didn't get around to posting it, and the garden has grown up so much since then, and I just wanted to add it to this video. So I'm gonna roll with the rest that I recorded a couple weeks ago, but at the end I'm gonna show you guys the difference that just like 2.5 weeks have made. Good morning, everybody. This is Leanne, and I'm in the garden again. I did not think that I would come back to doing garden tours on YouTube, but I was just recently told that I should share about my garden a little bit more, and I'm kind of really needing an outlet for talking about the garden because I'm so excited about it. So I'm gonna do this really quick. I'll show you what I've got going on, projects, plants, and so on. Before we get started, I want to preface a lot of what I have going on is experimental. I'm not sure it's gonna work, so don't glean from this like it's advice. It's just sharing what I'm doing. If there are things that I know that like ring true, I'll make like an extra point about that, but a lot of what I'm doing, I don't know if it's actually gonna work. Okay, let's go. Before we even jump in to the garden, walking through it, I'm gonna show the border. So this bamboo fence I put up, I think in 2023, in the fall, like the summer and the fall of 2023. It took me a while, so I just did a little bit every day for a couple of months. And this side, I did not assemble in panels and then attach to T-posts, but this side I did. So it was a lot easier to take down. And I'm repurposing the panels. I oriented them vertically. They were that way before, so they were a little bit longer across this fence line. That's why they don't go all the way anymore. But I'm gonna have my cucumbers grow up those. And so far I have some transplants that are taking their time to get adjusted. That kind of plant doesn't really like to be transplanted, but I used soil blocks to see if they could handle it with those. And so far they are showing some transplant shock, way more transplant shock than everything else. So if that tells you anything, it's still better to start any sort of cucumber just directly in the garden. But this year it's been so dry. I'm really glad that I got a head start on some things in the greenhouse. Right here, so I had T-posts in the ground on the outside edge of these log beds, and it made it really hard to keep the grass down because like you can't weed whip around the whole T-post if it's up against these logs. So it just looked, it didn't look tidy. I didn't like it, so I took it all down, and now I'm using these longer bamboo poles to stake up the tomatoes. I need to put one in between here. There's a basil in the way, so I was trying to be careful. So that's what the rest of this fence is going to become, stakes for the tomatoes, which I have in here. I've got some San Marzanos that are doing really, really good. They're about twice the size that they were when I transplanted them out. I have got some large leaf Italian basil, one strawberry that's starting to put off runners. I got plants, or strawberry plants from a friend, and it was enough to fill this whole row, and that's the only one that survived. So that's a little annoying, but it's my own fault because I was in a rush when I planted it out. I put sunflowers scattered throughout the whole garden. This looks like a bean, but I did not plant beans there, so I don't know what's going on with that. I have mortgage lifter tomatoes in here too, and cherries. The cherries are all the way on the end. And I didn't label anything because once they start fruiting, I'll know what's what. This is some spinach that was really, really good. It's starting to go to seed now, but it was really good. And just last night, I sowed seeds for beans. Jesse helped me, and we did, I think, Blue Lake pole beans up to about here, and then burgundy beans for the rest of it. Let's hop over here. I've learned that making these videos, it's easier to do little clips instead of just one long video that then I cut up and edit, because then it won't ever download on anything. So we're gonna do this in snippets. This bed does not have much in it yet, but it's about to. This bed's got a few zucchini plants and cucumbers, and 2 lemon basils. So here's one of the zucchini. It's pretty puny right now. There's another one. Lemon, basil, cucumber, zucchini, cucumber. Another one. So they're gonna grow up the T-posts and up that. And I was thinking about this last night. I was like, I really hope that I didn't set these up so tall that I won't be able to reach the very high height of it, but I can. So we're good. More cucumbers, basil, zucchini, and this is a volunteer marigold. These are the last things to get put in the garden. They're my peppers. I've got Yolo, Wonderbell, Corno di Toro, jalapeno, cayenne. And that's that. This is a cilantro that has gone to seed. We have some mini pumpkin varieties here that I want to grow up. This and the pumpkins, any kind of squash I've had a hard time with because the bugs don't like letting me grow them. So I was hoping that this big cilantro plant being so fragrant would kind of mask that these have pumpkins right here. So we'll see. This whole row is San Marzano tomatoes. My hope is to be able to make a lot of salsa and tomato sauce. I'm gonna plant probably beans along the border of this too. This fence is coming down. I'm not sure. It depends on how many seeds I have. I don't think I have enough bean seeds to do that whole thing. This is lettuce and kale. It is a slow bolt lettuce, so this will hopefully last me at least until like the middle of the summer before it gets gross. The heat usually makes lettuce greens kind of bitter. This is a red leaf lettuce. I've got a spicy globe basil in there with it and my garlic. Some more pumpkins. Oh, actually, no, this is butternut squash. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 butternut squash plants and Tom Thumb mini dwarf lettuce. I'm super excited about these because they're going to make little heads of lettuce. More pumpkins. So far, the pumpkins have survived a very long time, and I'm impressed. They've been in the ground for like a week. No pest pressure at all. There is another spicy globe basil. So the plan for this bed too is to put peppers down the middle here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'll put the sweet peppers down there and I'll put the spicy peppers in here. And it'll just be a center, down the center, up into the garlic. I'll probably, obviously, jump the pumpkins. So I'll put like 3 or 4 peppers right there. And then fill up this space over here because I don't need as many spicy peppers as the sweet peppers. So I'll fill up this smaller space. Oh my gosh, this honeysuckle smells so good. Down here we have some catnip. Autumn Beauty sunflowers. These were transplanted the day after the corn was transplanted, which is down there. I really like the logs. I think it looks really nice. Okay, so here's the sweet corn. I've got bodacious sweet corn and peaches and cream. I don't remember where I bought the seeds from though. Probably, I think I got all of them from My Gardener this year actually. And down here, I've got another basil. This is the only Italian basil that I'm growing right here. And actually, it looks kind of sick. Might not do that great. Ground cherries in this corner and a sunflower. I tried to put sunflowers a little bit in each bed so that it kind of ties it all together. It's my lemon tree. No flowers on it, but it's actually way more green than it was last year. This is my first year using a old trampoline tarp for weed suppression. Got this idea from a friend of mine. So we got 3 cantaloupe plants and a ground cherry in that last hole, and then 5 watermelons. Also, I got a trailer for the mower, and it makes moving all this mess so much easier. 2 beds I've decided to dedicate to perennial herbs. I do have some things in here that aren't perennials. I got some beans that are going to grow up the trellis. But I got thyme, variegated sage, rosemary, and another broadleaf sage over there. And this one, yarrow right here. Some more beans. That's Virginia creeper. That needs to go. But oregano's in the middle, parsley's all the way on the end, and lavender in the corner. And this is another thing of cilantro. Over here are my peach trees, which they have no peaches on them because the bugs made them all fall off. Blueberries. Another one. These haven't really done much either. I want them to get taller. This is their 3rd year that they've been here. But this rose was a gift from my friend, and it makes the most beautifully smelling roses ever. So I want that to take over this headboard. Elderberry. This I chopped down to the ground in March and is now 7 feet tall, maybe even taller than that. It's obnoxious. But if you ever want elderberries, let me know. Any local people, I will have so many. You could just come and get them for free. And over here, lastly, is my blackberry corner. And my plant is so full of berries. Look at all of those. Oh my goodness. And over here. And over here. I might get enough to make like a fresh blackberry pie. Last year I saved all the blackberries as they like trickled in and ripened slowly a little bit at a time. I just popped them in the freezer and then saved them until Thanksgiving and made a pie. But I think this year we'll have enough all at once to not have to freeze them. I could just make it fresh. The garden has been really great this year so far. Haven't harvested much, but it's been like we put some chairs and a hammock in the garden and it's been nice. We do school out here sometimes and I've been enjoying it a lot more because I have a place to sit and rest and it's not just a place where I do work. And I definitely do not have enough time to plant all these peppers up before I need to take the boys to school, which is okay because it gives me a little bit of time to process the plan. This year I have not deliberated over the garden plan like I usually do. Usually I get so excited. I get a piece of paper, I do like a rough outline sketch of the whole garden and then painstakingly draw and erase and redraw the garden plan over and over again to have it set up the most perfect way that I can think. But this year I'm not stressing about it like I usually do, which I didn't really think was stressing me out. I thought it was more of like excitement, but this year, now that I haven't done that, I realize how much more peace I have about how I'm setting it all up. It's like I'm not so concerned about doing it the most perfect way. I already know a lot. Obviously I don't know everything, but I know a lot and I am trusting what I know and working with it. So I feel like there's a lot of information out there in regard to gardening that can be really, really overwhelming, and like different types of plants need different types of watering schedules and fertilizing schedules and pests pressures. Like the pests are different, which is all true. However, I don't think that it is such a big deal to like need to stress about, especially with like a small backyard garden. I don't really consider my garden small. I think mine's like, I mean, I'm not trying to feed a city or anything, but like I think it's a pretty large garden. Even for me, I don't think it matters like if I planted my cucumbers next to peppers. I don't think, as long as there's enough room for airflow, I don't think it's a big deal. So I'm not really stressing about those sort of details or like what's the perfect companion plant for everything. I'm just kind of companion planting all of it all together and kind of seeing how it goes as an experiment and also just not stressing about it, because I think that that has been my downfall before, where I would get stressed out with the overload of information that I would be paralyzed and not do anything. So if it all fails, it'll be a lesson. I don't think it's all going to fail though this year. I already know the garlic isn't a failure. Like, look at that. The garlic looks amazing. And the lettuce. The lettuce looks amazing. I'm about to harvest some of the lettuce, probably in a couple of days. It looks like it can start getting baby greens off of them, and the plants will be just fine. But yeah. So don't stress. If you ever have any questions about the garden, please reach out. I will be so happy to answer any of your gardening questions. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, In the Garden Again, Facebook too, though I might not respond as quickly on Facebook, so Instagram is probably your best bet if you have gardening questions. Or if you know me personally, Facebook is good also. Just not my In the Garden Again Facebook. I probably won't respond to that as quickly. But this video is for Gwen from church because she said I should post about my garden more. I don't know if I'm going to make this a regular thing like I was trying to before, just because I don't have time. But hopefully this video is short and sweet. And yeah. Thanks for watching. Happy gardening, everybody.